3 more tools to help you with procrastination. The first one is push it through. The second one is this too shall pass. And the third one is what's your environment? So the first one is push it through. So, essentially it is really a good message that you give your brain to push through the project. Break it down, reward your system, but keep moving forward. The feeling of completion will stimulate the dopamine, the pleasure principle, the pleasure biochemicals.
Yes.
So push through to complete. The completion piece is going to make you feel amazing, and understand there is such value in that. And sometimes people say, well, I don't want to push it through until it's perfect. No, go through it once and then give yourself the opportunity to go back and look at your thing, look at your project, whatever it may be, check for mistakes, correct it. I wrote 2 books, in 3 years, a little bit crazy schedule. But one of my best pieces of advice that was given to me by my editor was just get that first draft down. You can't edit and create at the same time. I procrastinated so much initially. I really, really did. Initially, there was so much procrastination. But what I was really well served by was someone saying, just stop editing. Just get the creative process down. Put it down and then go back and edit after. And that was some of the best advice, because I was, writing 2 pages and then editing, and then writing 3 paragraphs and then editing. I was making absolutely no progress. My progress really just took off when I took the pressure off myself on the having it be perfect piece, and just put down that first, like I would do a chapter at a time. And then I wouldn't go back and edit. I'd get another chapter in, and then after 2-3 chapters, then I would go back and do the editing afterwards. And it was one of those, the feelings of accomplishment that came, it was amazing. It was just pleasure, pure pleasure to understand that I could do that. So the other thing, and I think you can relate in terms of projects you've done. I mean, you said you procrastinated quite a bit in various things.
Oh, high school was brutal.
For you, yeah. And completion was such an amazing thing. I think we were talking about that earlier.
I had a teacher who, unknowns to me till in the last few years, but he got us to do parts of our project in class. He had daily assignments and little bits of homework. And so when it was time to do the big assignment, he'd say, review your notes from the last 3 weeks. I want 500 words or 1,000 words on the following in 2 weeks. My first response was, oh, wait a minute. I've already done this in class. All I got to do is take it up, stitch it together, change a few words. And I got an 89. Me, an 89. Nobody's ever called me a scholar.
Okay.
But that teacher broke it down.
Right.
And
had you push it through, you had to push through with the way he set it up.
Every day was a little mini test, and every day was a little bit of homework and a little bit of writing. So it was like,
it was easy. We
were doing the lessons and the projects as we went. And so how could you not get an 89? Because now I think, what did I miss for 11%?
Now, the other piece is this too shall pass. Your system is much more resilient than you think it is. So giving yourself a little bit of stress, telling yourself, I can go through this stress and watch me complete this thing. So tell your system it's okay to experience a bit of this sort of pain, tell your system it's okay to have a little bit of discomfort, that you don't always have to be in comfort. There is evidence that shows that if you tell your system kind, calming, and maybe bring in some music when you are experiencing stress. I love playing really, really beautiful music when I'm experiencing stress. There's a message that I'm telling my brain that this is not forever. I know I'm going to have a break. I know I'm going to have a reward. So hang in there. If it's exercise, then anybody can do anything for 5 minutes or even 1 minute. Whatever it may be, allow your system to experience that discomfort and understand that the discomfort will pass. And tell yourself that the discomfort will pass, and keep suggesting that to your brain. And the third one you were talking about is the environment.
Oh, big, big, big for me, the environment. I live in an area of Canada where we have emergency helicopter flights for people who've been in accidents or crashes, 2 police stations, an emergency team, 2 ambulance centers, and 2 firefight. And so some days we get 14 to 21 sirens right under the window.
Oh my
One day, the first year I was there, I was like jittery, and I was like, okay, I need to own my own environment. I can't change outside the windows, but I could change what's in the windows. So lighting. What lighting is soothing for you but keeps you productive? Sounds. Noise canceling headphone sets are no longer $600. The prices are dropping. There's actually, I'm told, noise canceling earbuds now.
Yeah. Or also in my office, sometimes as a therapist, we will have the walls not be as soundproofed, and so we'll have a white noise machine that will just sort of create this really more relaxing environment and cancel out other voices.
One of my friends who has no allergies, an important issue about allergies, burns incense or has soothing oils they burn.
Also aromatherapy.
Aromatherapy,
that kind
but
of thing.
for some of us who have partners or neighbors with allergies, you can't do
that,
everything.
right.
But lighting, background music, I love the sounds of nature. I have a 90-minute video I made on my local babbling brook. I find it calming.
Nice.
And when I want to take 10 minutes, I turn the picture on too.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways we can own our space, and what clothing is comfortable and helps you be productive.
I made a meditation CD, a user-friendly meditation CD set. So I have my clients listen to that. I listen to that. It's the kind of thing that sends, once again, the amygdala to relax. And it is heading off the activation. We're saying you don't need to get activated. We're preempting that. And we are creating an environment emotionally, physically, environmentally, intellectually, and we're setting ourselves up for success. I mean, all of the stuff we're talking about is about setting you up for success. And that's really what this is about. This is absolutely about that.
To go back to proper prior, perfect practice promotes peak performance.
Love that.
Thank you, Mr. Bill Scott.
That's amazing. So I just want to give you all a summary of the study that was done by, led by Timothy Peichel, Piers Steele, and Alexander Rosenthal at University of Calgary. This is what the study revealed. Break a long-term project down into specific sub-goals. We talked about that. State the exact start time and how long. Just, not just tomorrow, you plan to work at your task. Just get started. It isn't necessary to write a long list of tasks or each intermediate step. Just get started. Remind yourself that finishing the task now helps you in the future. So that positive self-talk. Putting off the task won't make it any more enjoyable, right? Implement micro costs or mini delays that require you to make a small effort to procrastinate, such as having to log on to a separate computer account for a game. That's a really good one. Yeah, I like that. Reward yourself not only for completing the entire project, but also for the sub-goals. Giving yourself a treat, a coffee, watching your favorite show as you're working out, these kinds of things. So there are many ways for you to really stop this habit of procrastinating. It can happen. It is possible. You just need to, listen to what we're talking about here today and implement it, and you will succeed. I just know it. I just know it.
You can make these into positive habits.
Yes.
If I can turn my inner bully that came around a lot when I was procrastinating into my inner coach, you can too. So to quote one of my mentors when I was in another one in my 20s,
yes,
you have to memorize this, internalize it, and personalize it, because when you own it yourself, life gets easier.
That's right.
Life gets much less stressful. And I know at least one of my medical professionals from my health issues goes, you're so healthy now. What have you done?
Right.
Practicing visualization skills like you
Right.
teach.
Visualization is so key. Your brain does not differentiate between real or imagined in terms of the biochemistry that it emits. So if you suggest to your system that you are relaxed, that you are in a relaxed place emotionally, you will actually start to bring on more dopamine, serotonin, all of the positive chemicals. You'll relax the nervous system. You will bring down the norepinephrine and the cortisol and the fight-flight. This whole thing hinges on you owning, without a doubt, that you procrastinate. As if, it's a job to take care of it. If you had, as I said earlier, diabetes, you would take care of it. So don't go into denial that you don't have this issue. You do. And since you do, let's work on it. And let's work on it in a way that is easy, that is calm, that is gentle, and that is setting yourself up for success, essentially.
It works.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.